You're listening to Season 7 of the award-winning Homemade Matters podcast, brought to you from the West Midlands in the UK.
We're just a regular family of 5 on a home education journey, and we want to share our journey with you and encourage you on yours. So thanks for joining us, and here's this week's episode.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to
Homemade Matters,
Season 7.
Episode 15.
My name's Luke.
And my name's Eden.
And we are recording this. And what can we see out the window?
Snow, snow, snow!
I'm a bit surprised we've had another big dumping of snow.
And it's much more than last time. It's literally at least 2 inches thick.
We were really
Probably more.
surprised because we had snow at the beginning of, snow over Christmas.
And at the end of December.
And then we weren't expecting any more.
Yeah, but then it snowed.
It was Friday night, and I'd just gone out to do our weekly essential food shop.
And we were watching The Sound of Music.
And as I was driving, it was kind of sleeting, and then as I drove back the half mile from the shops, it turned to really heavy snow.
Yeah.
And then by the morning, we had a thick carpet of it.
Yeah.
And that was Saturday.
And it was kind of melting in the afternoon. It's all melted. And then...
What does Mummy say?
What does she say?
The early bird gets the worm.
Oh, yeah.
Because first thing Saturday morning...
We went sledging.
Yeah, I'd been out for a glorious snowy run. Very first thing, crack of dawn. In fact, before dawn.
Yeah, it was. We were only getting back at dawn, really.
And then when I got back, you were all ready...
To go?
To the big hill. And what's the name of our sledges that we really, really love?
Axie skis.
So they're actually like plastic snowboards. We mentioned them last time.
They're really good.
Do you know they're made not far from here, near Worcester?
Really?
Yeah, they're a UK company.
Oh, wow.
So if you look on our social media, you'll see us on our Axie skis.
Yeah, and our drive is good for Axie skiing too, so that's what we've been doing this morning.
Whoa, because we had another dumping this morning.
Yeah.
Yesterday we went out early, but then it was a
melting.
really beautiful sunny day, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it all melted.
Yeah, but then it started snowing again first thing this morning, really.
Yeah, and we did our church, and then we went outside.
Yeah, it's still really snowing.
It's just amazing, and it's not melting.
No, it's snowing ever so faintly now.
Yeah.
We were due a cold winter.
Yeah, we were. We haven't had one for millions of years. Well, not millions of years, but
And it's been quite appropriate weather because the book we're reading together, you and I, in the evenings...
The Long Winter.
Which is is it 5 or 6 of the Little House on the Prairies
6.
book thing? Anyway, they're struggling through blizzards all winter.
Yeah, even though we are reaching the end of it now.
And, we're going to read Gulliver's Travels next.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that was quite appropriate. Yesterday when I went for my run, I went up out onto the fields, and that was the first human footprints on the snow, but there were loads of fox prints.
Oh, yeah.
And Belle and Mummy actually went and followed the fox prints round our garden just now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's been pretty good.
I love you, Flo.
And we've got our cat here with us, in case you're wondering who Flo is. She's our 13-year-old cat.
She's so old now.
She's just snuggling, sitting here.
Yeah.
She loves all of us, doesn't she?
Yeah, she really does. If you listen to our very, very long time ago podcast, you'll know that Flo sits with us during most episodes.
Yeah, she does like to come and record with us.
Yeah.
I wonder how many podcasts have got their own cat.
Yeah. I wonder, maybe just us.
Yeah, well, the reason we intended to record a podcast last weekend, but
we found something amazing.
Mummy was working, and so we went for a walk to a different bit of an area just near our house that we'd not been to before, which is called
The Dingle,
which I think is the name of the little watercourse as it goes through before it turned into Ludgate Brook near us. So that. Why don't you tell us all about it?
So basically it's this small area. Well, it's quite big-ish, but it's really overgrown and full of trees and litter. So we've been doing litter picks there, and we've been 3 times now in the last week. Yeah, and 2 of those times we had our litter pickers and we were doing litter picking. And last time we actually went with Mummy and we explored the river bit, and it was so cool but really muddy.
Yeah, the first 2 times we went,
We just stayed on the path.
we stayed on the path because there had been a lot of rain.
Yeah.
And the river was in full swell. We say river, it's only a little stream.
Yeah.
But it's a wooded area, lots of native species, lots of oak there, isn't there?
Yeah. And actually, we were reading in our rivers book about an oxbow, where basically the river, it curves outwards and then goes back into its original path. But eventually the curve gets so big that it's actually quicker for it to just go straight through.
The river kind of cuts a new channel, doesn't it? And then leaves that last little bit.
Yeah, and we actually saw that at the dingle, really.
Yeah, there was a little bit in with because it's quite a sandy sediment on the bed, isn't it? And you can see the little meandering of the channel on small scale. Yeah.
And we saw the oxbow of it.
We actually did a recording while we were there last weekend.
Did.
So here's that. Oh, it's been a really rainy few days.
Yeah.
And we're out on a walk.
We're exploring the dingle.
Yeah, so it's a watercourse near us. And what are we looking at the moment?
We're looking at the river and all the different dams.
Yeah, there's some natural flood management here. This is my geeky side coming out. So there's some leaky dams across the river. And what are they doing?
They're slowing the river down so it doesn't flood.
I say river, it's more of a stream. You two don't get too much closer, okay? Why is it really good to slow the water down?
Because it if there was a really big, huge flood, then it would slow the water down and it would let natural river flow through, but there wouldn't be a huge tidal wave.
Exactly, yeah, which would scour it out.
Yeah.
So it's really nice, and I'm impressed to see these here. So this is an area we've not really walked on before, is it, Ash?
Yeah.
We've not really been here before. What's been the funnest thing so far on this walk?
Doing stuff and all the scraps and stuff like that.
All the scratchy mud, yeah. We're in our wellies and walking boots. Belle, what are you enjoying the most on the walk?
Scrouting my wellies in the mud.
Well, it's good to go out and get some exercise in our local area, in a park we don't normally get to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, should we carry on?
With the path, yeah.
With the path.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
We ordered more litter pickers.
Yeah,
so
we
that
did.
We've all got them.
Yeah.
And what did we learn as a general principle about the litter picking?
You have to get loads of bin bags.
We needed a bigger bag. First time we went, we needed a bigger bag for the recycling.
Yeah.
So we have separated out the cans and plastic bottles from just the red general rubbish, haven't we?
Yeah, so...
And put that in our own recycling.
Yeah, if you do plan on going litter picking, then you should have 2 bags because, it's actually amazing how much of it can be recycled.
Yeah, it really is, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's been some of the outdoor stuff.
Yes.
What else? You and Ash have been playing a game in the garden. Yeah, badminton.
Yeah. We've also been playing Mega Tag 2.0.
That's quite a good thing to do, but obviously but not in the snow. It's a bit harder to play that and play badminton in the snow.
Yeah. Although yesterday I actually threw snow up into the air, and then I used the badminton racket to make it all go small, and it was sparkling in the sunlight, and it looked so pretty.
So so we've managed to stay getting outdoors, which is good.
Yeah, I've been getting my actors up the last few days.
And actually we next weekend's the Big Garden Bird Watch.
Yes.
So what did we make the other week to start getting the birds attracted back to our garden?
Bird feeders.
So we did a couple of designs, didn't we? What was one of them? The one that you made first?
A milk bottle bird feeder. Basically, it was a milk bottle. It was empty, and we just cut holes in 2 sides and hung it up in the garden and put bird feeders in it.
Yeah, this is one of the big
2-litre milk.
4-point ones, isn't it? Yeah, more than 2 litres. The plastic ones, so that's good.
Yes.
And then the other design was from Ash's Mud and Bloom box.
Oh, I can see a bird.
I know.
Yeah. It was an orange peel, basically. So you have you cut an orange in half and you scoop the insides out. And basically then you just cut holes in it and hang it in the garden.
Yeah, we threaded it, so we filled those, and then we filled up our general bird feeders as well. So next Sunday we'll participate in that.
Yes.
Was it last year or the year before?
It was really windy.
It can't have been last year, actually, because...
We didn't do it last year.
We were able to... Yeah, we were on holiday, in fact.
Yeah.
But the year before, the actual day of the count, like you say...
It was so windy. We didn't see any birds. Well, we did see some.
We did it the next day, didn't we? 'Cause,
it was
we just didn't feel it was a representative day.
Yeah. Oh, Floob, she's proper lying out.
Yeah, and actually thinking of the end of the month next month, we're thinking of starting a new family tradition, aren't we?
New Month's Eve.
Yeah. What's that? And why are we coming up with this new tradition?
Well, because when we all stayed up for New Year's Eve, it was really fun, and we all slept in the TV room together. And so basically, now we're going to do it every month, except we're not always going to stay up till midnight. We'll probably only stay up till 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we moved the sofa bed in, didn't we? And then
Yeah.
we watched a classic film. So on
Sound
New
of
Year's Eve,
Music.
we watched Sound of Music. So we're thinking that the last Saturday of every month,
That will be good.
we'll do that. We
Yeah.
might make smoothies because we've got smoothie
yeah.
stuff in the freezer, haven't we? So
Yeah.
that'll be fun. So next weekend we'll do that. We thought that might be a nice tradition over the year. So watch classic movies that we've not really seen as a family before.
Yeah.
So we've seen,
even though we've seen,
like all the Disney ones. So these would be different ones.
yeah, but we've watched Sound of Music 3 times now since then.
Yeah.
Because me and Bella are obsessed with it.
And we really enjoyed our Advent traditions, didn't we?
Yes.
So we had an Advent candle, and we read a book called
Bartholomew's Travels. No, Tabitha's Travels.
which was like a daily family devotional story.
Which we would all read together instead of the other books, which we would read separately.
Yeah,
separately.
so you each get separate stories at night, except during Advent. So, what are we going to do this year? Because something starts next month.
Lent.
And what's Lent?
Basically when we count down the day, is it Jesus in the desert, or is it counting down the days to Easter?
It's counting down the days to Easter, which was when Jesus
was in the desert.
Died and rose again.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
You're getting it confused with the 40 days of him in the desert. But
oh yeah.
Anyway, Lent starts next month.
Yeah.
And we've discovered
a new book series, which is basically the same one we read at Advent, but it's 30 years later, so everyone's grown up.
Yeah, so it's mirroring. It's a something mirroring the story of Jesus in the last month.
Yeah.
And we don't have one candle for Lent. We have a series of candles.
7.
So I'm going to make a special candle holder.
Yes.
Out of bits of log.
We have so many in our garden.
We do have lots in our garden. I'm thinking of using the ones that I think are the right size are some of the cherry trees that I chopped down.
Yeah.
So I might use that.
I was thinking that would be good for too.
So yeah, and I've ordered some of the other candles. So we're looking forward to that. So that's going to be a new Lenten tradition. We'll definitely do it this year.
Yeah.
It's nice to mark the seasons, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Whether seasons of faith or actual natural world seasons.
Yeah.
No, I think
Flo a
I
hug.
don't think she wants to be hugged right now. Well, anyway, we will be back in just 1 second.
You can go get yourself some coffee.
Go and get a cup of tea or a coffee or a drink, and we'll be back to talk about some of our regular learning very shortly.
Yes.
You're listening to the Home in Matters podcast.
Right then, I've been looking through our weekly records of the things we've been learning.
Yeah.
As if you're a regular listener, you'll know we've got routines of learning, really.
Yes.
So one of the things we do every day is a poem.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of the poems we've been doing recently, or who's the author?
Cicely Mary Barker.
And who's she?
She was like a poet, obviously, but she actually, she wrote fairy poems, but basically she actually got her drawing, the ideas for drawings from her local nursery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
As in tree nursery?
What do you mean tree nursery?
Or the children of the
The
nursery?
children at the nursery
right.
for the fairies' faces.
So she's the one that wrote the fairy poem. What's the one you've got, which is all of the flower fairies?
Yes, flower fairies.
And these were so they're little poems based on each type of flower and then beautiful drawings.
Yeah, and we're actually doing it from my copy right now because Mirabelle didn't want to lend her a copy. She was very dominant over it.
The one I remember is the Deadly Nightshade one. My name is Deadly Nightshade also.
Bittersweet, our little folk be wise. Hide your hands behind me when we meet. Turn you away your eyes. My flowers you shall not pick nor berries eat, for in them poison lies.
And it was because we'd read that poem and looked at those pictures. couple of years ago when we were first growing vegetables in our garden, like later in the summer, all of a sudden I was pulling out weeds and I was like, hold on a second, this is nightshade, and we had stacks of nightshade in the garden. We still do.
Yeah.
Still does come up every now and then. So we do that. That's one of the things we do in our morning time, isn't it?
Yep.
We also read a book called The Story of the World.
Yes.
Do you read that every day?
No.
What day do you read that?
Well, we read two very similar. Oh wait, no, that's Marvel's. Yeah, we read it on Monday, but only I have to narrate it because it grows with the child apparently. So it's too old for us to narrate.
Well, we're on volume 4.
Yeah.
And where are you up to in the story of the world?
Basically, it's kind of leading up to the World Wars. Like, you know, it's kind of, yeah, we've just been doing about Japan actually. But, yeah, it was really interesting because we read a bit about leading up to the World Wars and the Prussians and the Austrians. So, yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So we're verging on modern history because the Victorians are our topic, and so we're coming to the end of
Victorian
the 19th
times.
Century and the beginning of the 20th century.
Yeah.
And there's a crossover as well with our artist study that we've been doing,
Hokusai.
who was a Japanese
Artist, yeah.
artist at the time.
Yeah.
So we do Story of the World one day. Yeah, well, I was going to get onto the Book of Marvels. So tell us about the Book of Marvels.
So basically, Ashley had to narrate this one too, which is good. And basically, we're kind of working our way across the world. And we're doing France right now, and we did Carcassonne a couple of weeks ago, and we did this week about Joan of Arc and the cathedral.
At Reims.
Yeah.
And the Book of Marvels is nothing to do with superheroes.
Yes.
It's actually quite an old book. When was it written?
It was in like 1937 was the time it was first published, I think.
So what's some of the comparison that we do? How do we compare what it's like today?
Well, we watch videos of wherever we're going to be, learning about in the mornings before we watch it, so we know what it's like right now.
Yeah, they're quite good, aren't they? So there's quite a diverse range. I watched the one with you on Reims, looking at the cathedral. And what's interesting to compare then with how the place has been described in the Book of Marvels and the videos you've watched?
It's quite interesting that, like, some of them, like the nature reserves, Richard Halliburton, he assumes that, by this time it will be boardwalks and lakes and, shopping centres and stuff like that. But actually, it was quite interesting because they've actually been turned into nature reserves and stuff like that.
Which is great, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Carcassonne, we knew the name anyway.
From our game.
It's a fantastic board game.
You should definitely
play it. Why is the board game called Carcassonne?
Because it's like after this castle, which well, I won't go into the details of it, but it's half an island because when the tide comes in, it's an island, but when it goes out, it's like proper on the shore.
So then it's fantastic medieval walls.
Yeah,
and that's
it's
why
so
there's
amazing.
that's why it's the Carcassonne game. Well,
Yeah.
we've been enjoying some other games. So Carcassonne is a fantastic tile-based game, isn't it?
It's really fun.
And what two tile-based games have we been playing the last few weeks?
Katan and Katan Junior.
So which one did we start with?
Katan Junior.
So this is a collaborative game.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of like you have to like get all your layers onto the board.
Yeah, so
before anyone
you
else.
have to build. Yeah, you have to. It's a trading and building type game, but it's it's the junior version of the Settlers of Catan, which
Yes.
is a very popular game. And I
quite-
introduced you both to it yesterday.
Yeah, it took us like an hour.
Yeah, it took a long time, but you both learnt it so well because
Yeah.
you played Catan Junior, which is much quicker, like 20
Yes.
minutes, isn't it?
Well, unless you're Asher and you want to make the game go on
Well,
a very long time.
it is a great. Like, just enjoying playing is a key part, isn't it, of board games?
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah.
those are really good ones. So yeah. Anyway, we're getting distracted.
Yeah, talking about our favourite board games.
Book of Marvels. So that's another one we do on another day. So that is mixing up history and geography. If these, if you're
Yes.
thinking in traditional subjects, which we don't tend to necessarily.
Yeah.
So that's been pretty good. One thing that Mummy did with you a couple of weeks ago that was really important, which is more a life skill really, was thinking about what would we do if there was a fire in the house. So what were some of those things?
Like if it was at night, and your door will actually protect you for a long time if it's closed, and shouting for help and shining your torch at the window and stuff like that. And if it's safe to, getting Mirabelle out of the house if I can.
Yeah. And what? How can you test? What are some of the signs that there might be a fire on the other side of the door?
Like if the door's really hot, then you obviously shouldn't open it. But if it's quite cold, but the smoke alarm's going off, you can be careful. But you can open the door, but you wouldn't open it straight away. You would open it to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just open it a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
So you've all got torches next to your bed now.
Yes. Well, I had one there anyway.
We used it. We also tested the smoke alarms, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
So that you knew what to listen for, and it was a good opportunity to do that. So we might do that every January.
Every January.
Well, just to remind ourselves, we try and test the smoke alarms every time the clocks change as well.
Yeah.
Another fun thing we'd been doing actually a couple of weeks ago was about chain reactions. What are the special? When you set up a big chain reaction, what's it called?
A Rube Goldberg machine.
And why is it called that?
I think the man who invented it was called Rube Goldberg, but I could be wrong.
He was a cartoonist. He used to draw really wacky machines, and so they named them after him.
Yeah.
So that's all about forces, isn't it?
Yes. And we've actually been doing science lessons about them now, about forces, not about Rube Goldberg, but machines. It's on a Tuesday, and we basically watch it. It's for home editors. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, there's fantastic person teaching physics on YouTube, physics lessons of forces.
Yes.
On Tuesdays, so we've been watching those. Maybe you have too.
Yeah, she also does it on Wednesdays as well.
And looking at forces, so on its smallest scale, you built a type of Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah.
In Ash's room yesterday.
Did we?
Yeah, a marble run. A marble run is a type of that. But actually, we were doing more extravagant ones. So what were some of the things you were trying to get to come off?
We were making a Rube Goldberg machine in the Lego room, and basically we had it rolling down clear timbers and washing baskets, and then a ball would hit the washing basket, and it would set these dominoes all falling down, and then we wanted it to knock another ball, but it wasn't big enough.
There's some great YouTube videos as well, aren't there, that we've enjoyed watching?
Yeah, and a really good one to watch is a lemon Rube Goldberg machine, which is when life gives you lemons. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's like the largest one of 2018 or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good. You should definitely watch it.
And the background videos are good on how many times how they practiced it and all of that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
brilliant. Well, I think. Last thing I was going to say was you've, in terms of music, a few years ago you had piano lessons, which was great, but we stopped them because we were doing them a bit at home. But what have you picked up again this year?
Doing piano.
Yeah. And why was that, do you think?
I don't know. I think it was because I was reading a book on my Kindle called The Crooked Kind of Perfect. It's about a girl, she really wants a piano, but she gets this kind of weird music player instead. But yeah, that was kind of what got me into it. It's called A Crooked Kind of Perfect.
So how have you approached it?
Just playing it. And doing the adult book, first beginner's book thing.
Yeah, so we've got various teach yourself piano books, but
we
probably
helps
that you've played it a little bit before, but you've been diligently going through the exercises, haven't you?
Yeah, I have, and I'm getting up to one that I remember doing, which was the cuckoo. I don't know why I remembered that one specifically, but I always did.
And speaking about reading on your Kindle, so that was a fantastic present, wasn't it?
Yeah, my birthday present.
And actually, was it also for your birthday that you got the special 100 Kids Books bucket list poster?
Yes, from my friend.
And so you scratch off the image of the book when you've read it.
Yeah.
So we've got that on your wall.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And what have you been reading some of those special books on your Kindle?
A bit. Mostly I'm just pacing myself with it because I've read a few of them, but I kind of want to read them again, you know. So there's lots, and some of them I didn't even realise were on there, but we've listened to them recently, like The Story of Babar and Dig of the Dump.
Yeah. Good ones, so you can
Both
cross
good
them
books.
off. So you haven't done a frenzy of scraping things off, you're kind of savouring it.
Yeah, I'm kind of savouring
That's a good thing
it.
to do.
Because, it does take a little while to scratch off too.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want to do a big frenzy.
No.
But yeah, it's really good.
Well, we'd love to hear what you're reading. And,
Yes,
and
please let us know.
what are some of your favourite books? And also, we would love to know what your favourite family films are.
Yes.
Because we're coming up with a list for our special family film night. So please let us know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I think that's probably it for today.
Yeah.
So we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
See ya.
Thanks for listening in.
Thank you.
And tell all your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends. I don't know why I'm repeating what you're saying.
And do get in touch. All the details coming up right now.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. You've been listening to the Homemade Matters podcast. We love hearing from you, so email us to homemadematters@gmail.com. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Homemade Matters, and visit our website at www.homemadematters.co.uk. If you're enjoying the show, please leave us a review wherever you listen, like Apple Podcasts, Stitcher or Spotify. Thanks for joining us and enjoy your homemade journey this week.
They say absence makes the heart grow fond. Well, I've grown quite fond of you. Some people may think you're strange, but I think I'm strange too. It's raining outside, and it's raining inside too. I wanna go home, place where I'm known, and where I know you. Walk familiar